deal with airplane peanuts?
Steiny and Schulz, like, completely went at it.
Man, sorry, Steinberg. Man, I love you, bro. Like, don't text me middle of the night upset. Like,
Nelk, release the pod. Release the pod, Nelk!
Andrew Schulz is back in the news this week after the story of his unreleased Full Send podcast interview has swarmed the internet. For those of you who aren't familiar, Full Send is a popular podcast under the Nelk umbrella. Hosted by Kyle Folgard, who you might recognize from his appearance on This Past Weekend, the show has over 2 million subs on YouTube and is a massive platform in the world of podcasting. Which is why 9 months ago, Andrew Schulz decided to appear on Full Send to promote his new special Infamous, which was coming out around that time.
You're a Taliban? Go home, bro. You're free. You got your country back. You're not really Taliban. You're just Afghani. You're from Pakistan. That's not even the same, you racist motherfucker.
The first time the existence of this unreleased episode became public knowledge a few weeks ago, it was suggested by John Shahidi, the president of Happy Dad, that Steiny was the one who didn't want the episode to air because he had gotten into a heated verbal exchange with Andrew Schulz, and Nelk was keeping it unreleased for Steiny's sake.
And I was like, who is this chicken McNugget asking me
Now, the Full Send podcast has interviewed O.J. Simpson, Donald Trump, Caitlyn Jenner. They're definitely not afraid to stir the pot, which is why it's almost unbelievable things got so bad between Schulz and Steiny in this interview that they decided it couldn't be seen by the public in any capacity.
but there was an episode with Andrew Schulz. Man, sorry, Steinberg. Man, I love you, bro. Like, don't text me middle of the night upset. But Schulz went after, like, I think, when like a stand-up comedian like looks in the crowd and decides like just go after somebody. Yeah. Well, I think like Schulz was kind of like went after Steiny, and it was pretty awkward.
Was it the whole episode, or was it like?
It was a bulk of it. It was
No, you couldn't cut around it, or
he would come back to it. And like he just wanted to go after Steiny.
Anyone who's at all familiar with Andrew Schulz as a guest on podcasts can probably imagine exactly how this all went down. A majority of his funniest interview moments come from busting balls with his guests or with the host of whatever show he's a guest on, which works great when you're talking with professional comedians, but apparently things got a bit contentious with this Steiny character, who is now claiming that Andrew Schulz is actually the one who asked for this episode to be cut in the first place.
Basically, when we did the pod with Schulz, I don't know exactly what happened between you and him or whatever, but I think the vibe was just off for some reason. I don't know if it was like all your fault, but either way, Steiny and Schulz like completely went at it.
I don't even know if I went back at it.
I think he thought that like he didn't really know you that well as well.
That's the whole thing.
Like I think he knew me and he knew Steve, and you were kind of just starting out on the pod.
Well, that's the thing that
so
people
like,
don't realize. This was fucking filmed 7-8 months ago.
Yeah, Steiny and Schulz went at it because I think Schulz thought that you were like digging at him for certain shit. So then he was chirping you back, and then you guys just kind of went at it for like 5 minutes, and then Schulz was going in on Steiny and stuff like that. And then after the podcast, Schulz just kind of approached me and John and said, yo, like, I don't know if that was really it. Like, I feel like if I want to be on the pod, like, we could do something way bigger and some shit that's like really gonna break the internet. You didn't want it out either at all.
Okay, well,
that's for sure. The reason I
didn't, that's also not exactly true, because I remember saying like, yo, bro.
No, you didn't, bro. No. This was
but
you're way more. You're way more accepting now.
Yeah, for sure. But
back then, you were like, bro, no, that's gonna cause like you didn't.
Can you allow me real quick? But what I did say was, can we maybe take certain things out and we could put it out? And you said, yeah, sure.
I pretty early on realized that like Kyle and Steiny don't really know me that well, because the questions they're asking are like really basic questions.
Like, what's an example?
Has anybody ever like heckled you? And there's a moment in the pod, I don't know if they edited it, but where I'm like, what? And they're like, have you ever like talked to someone in the crowd? And like, so I'm thinking two different things in this moment. I'm going, either they have no clue who I am, and that's weird that I would even be here.
Annoying, yeah.
Or they know and it's a troll. So I'm like, Do you know what I mean? Like, and in in that moment,
Steiny got
You got clips.
Now he knows what you do to the crowd.
What I do. Yeah.
You can kind of tell just based on the way they're talking about this thing that Steiny actually might have got his feelings hurt and might be still a bit defensive about the whole situation, which is honestly not a huge surprise. We've seen this happen before. When comics go on these massive YouTube podcasts like Impulsive or Nelk, these shows get millions of views every episode by interviewing some of the biggest celebrity names in the world. They have a brand of edgy humor and can definitely create some funny moments here and there. But overall, they are used to being in control of their show and rarely make themselves the butt of any jokes, which might work well with most normal guests, but it's twice now that we've seen this exact format go horribly wrong when an actual comedian who's used to comedy pods goes on a show like this. Both Andrew Schulz's appearance on Full Send and Bobby Lee's episode of Impulsive ended with one of their co-hosts getting salty about jokes made at their expense. In fact, Bobby Lee went so hard on the co-host of Impulsive that he ended up walking off the episode and quitting the show forever, which I guess is worse than not releasing the episode at all.
There's certain. He is clocked out.
Yeah, I know.
George has been under a tremendous amount of abuse. No, stop, George. I want you over here with me. George, I want you over here with me. Chase him down. Go. You find him. George, no, go get him. Go get him. I said this, he walked, and that's a first, and now we're going to have to deal with the fallout of this episode for the next 2 months. I swear to God, Bobby Lee, you pissed off my co-host. He's probably crying in the driveway.
You know, the Beatles could have lost Ringo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Apparently, since this drama has become public, Kyle and Andrew have been texting about filming a new version of the podcast soon, and even reacting to some of the clips where Steiny and Schulz were going at it. But even in the clip of the Nelk boys discussing redoing the Andrew Schulz episode, Steiny still looks uncomfortable and said he's cool with running it back as long as Schulz keeps that same energy.
Yeah, no, my thing.
How do you feel about having him on?
Yeah, and he could keep that same energy. But the thing about it,
what does that mean?
Like, if he wants to come at me, like, that's fine. But the thing about it was,
are you angry with him?
I mean, at the time, I was just confused because, like, typically if, like, I'm going back and forth, like, how we would treat, like, the Theo Von one when we're just joking.
Right.
Like, I can tell, like, it's funny when we're, like, the banter's there, but when he's kind of, like, going at me and, like, no one's reacting and it's, like, awkward because
I totally forget what the actual specifics
Oh,
of
I remember,
of
like, it was fucking
Really?
yesterday.
What was it?
Well, no one was, like, really, like, laughing or, like...
I was laughing.
I don't think you were, bro.
I was.
I don't think you were.
But I like when people argue.
No, but it was
everyone comments, but I just sit back and like it's so
okay. But I will tell you, like you even said, like it was just such a bad episode. It was so awkward that it was just like I was
weird.
Confused. I was like, dude,
weird,
like.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think these guys are lying, but it is kind of hard to believe that Andrew Schulz said he doesn't want this podcast out at all. To me, it sounds like he was just getting on Steiny's ass, making funny jokes at his expense, and Steiny took it too personally at the time. Also, the fact that they've been mispronouncing his name throughout this entire thing tells me Andrew Schulz might not be chomping at the bit to break the internet with these guys anytime soon.
Andrew Schulz.
Andrew Schulz.
Oh, shit! The podcast!
YMH Studios announced the addition of another new podcast last week called Not Today, Pal, which will debut on their channel this Thursday. This announcement comes just 1 month after adding a 5th show to their network, First Date with Lauren Compton, which is already averaging 320,000 views through 4 episodes.
What do you wear to sleep?
Nothing.
Just balls out.
Balls out. Nothing.
What does your girlfriend wear to sleep?
Usually she'll wear a little top, little t-shirt,
That's cute.
and that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. That's what she wears.
I thought there was something else.
No, there's no pants, no nothing. You mean another comment?
It's a no pants party.
It's a no pants party, and nobody can come except for me. What? Now that sounded horrible. This is a first date. Nobody talks like that. Nobody talks like that on a first date.
So I guess we know how you feel about open relationships.
The new show announcement took place last week on Instagram, with Your Mom's House saying, quote, "We're very excited to announce our newest podcast, Not Today, Pal, with Jamie Lynn Sigler and Rob Eiler. Former TV siblings from The Sopranos, Jamie Lynn and Robert have polar opposite personalities, but always find hilarious ways to reach common ground. The first episode drops Thursday, July 20th at 7 a.m. Central Time, anywhere you get podcasts. Guest spots from last week: The Joe Rogan Experience had on Brian Simpson, Tony Hawk was on Are You Garbage, YMH talked with Tom Papa, Kyle Dunnigan was the guest on Whiskey Ginger. Killed Tony this week was with Ari Shafir. Two Bears, One Cave was Bert and Joe McHale. Flagrant did not have a guest. Kirk Fox was a guest on The Harland Highway. Rosebud Baker went on Stavi's World. Ali Sadiq was the guest on We Might Be Drunk. And Rick Glassman was on Bad Friends.
I'm on a boat. I gotta work for my wages.
I'm Bobby Lee.
I blew the captain. He gave me a free ticket from South Korea.
This is my first cruise. My name is Bobby Lee. I love to the upper deck and beneath the sea. But if I kinda got into gambling, I'd be afraid I'd bet all of my money. My name is Bobby Lee. Bobby Lee. Bobby Lee. Bobby. Come on, do it. Come on, that would be a great place to do it. Please do it.
You can't ask. It's gotta happen.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing. After the podcast.
Okay. This past weekend with Theo Von was a solo episode. Tom Segura was on Being Ian with Jordan. Tampa Tony was a guest on Chrissy Chaos. Dr. Drew went on Hey Babe. Greg Fitzsimmons was on The Honeydew. Ron White was on First Date. Paul Walter Hauser went on Take Your Shoes Off. Seth Meyers was on The Blocks podcast. Roy Wood Jr. and Keith Robinson went on You Know What Dude. Ari Spears was on Tiger Belly. Dan Soder was on OnlyFans. As far as new stand-up specials that are either out now or coming out soon, Tom Segura's Sledgehammer is still trending right now on Netflix. We also made a reaction video to that last week, so check it out if you haven't seen it yet. Kevin Hart's new special Reality Check is up on Peacock. We also have Rob Schneider, Woke Up America, and Mark Ellis, Alive and Well, both out right now. And some really exciting upcoming specials. Jeffrey Asmus's debut special, The Only Funny White Man, comes out on YouTube this Thursday. And according to him, it's, quote, the first 100% alpha comedy special ever released.
Don't you fucking lie to me, dude. 'Cause that's my fucking search on the internet. I can't see it in the flesh. I'll bust a little load. I think I like that a lot. I'll be dribbling Catholics. You think my name's fucking Goofrey, dude?
We're also getting closer to the release of Mark Norman's first full Netflix special, Soup to Nuts, which will be streaming worldwide July 25th. Everyone seems to be really excited for Mark's new special to drop next Tuesday. We're definitely going to be making a video recapping Soup to Nuts that'll come out soon, as well as a Mark Norman Try Not to Laugh compilation. If you don't want to miss those videos, consider subscribing to Joke World right now, and I promise you that you'll be in the comedy loop for years to come. Also, check out the link in our Instagram bio if you want some free stickers sent to you in the mail. Thanks for watching.
At Joke World. That's it, at Joke World.
And the world is WRLD.
That's a great YouTube channel, Joke World. Check it out.